Today, I want to talk to the CEOs and founders out there. By the way, you're going to have to make a lot of different decisions in your career as a founder and an entrepreneur. But today, I want to talk to you about the top 10 decisions you'll have to make as a founder. So before I get into today's message, I want to talk to all the people that keep sending messages saying, Pat, when are we doing the first Valuetainment Live conference? Is it still on? We crossed 1 million subs. I was in London just a few days ago. 100 people showed up to the meetup. That was the number one question. When are we doing the 3-day live Valuetainment conference? We haven't forgotten about it. Stay tuned. We got some big announcements coming soon. So having said that, let me get right into the message. Number one thing a founder needs to think about, a decision you got to make, is do I partner with somebody or do I go solo? By the way, there is no right answer here. There just isn't a right answer here. Let me explain what I mean by this. There are certain people that probably shouldn't marry somebody like their own personality. A lot of times when these partnerships don't work, they don't work because people team up with somebody very similar to themselves, and it just doesn't work out. And there's a lot of times people go solo all by themselves thinking they can do it all, and they can't do it by themselves. They need someone with them. It's almost, probably the best analogy to give you is the following. Some people can win and be the lead guy, like a Jordan needs a couple role players to go win, but a Pippen can't win on his own. He needed to have somebody else be a number one. You have to kind of realize, are you a number one person, 2, 3, 4, 5? What role do you best play and position yourself there? Matter of fact, I did a video on this, so you should go watch because I get into a little bit more detail. It's called How to Choose Your Business Partner. The link is right here. The thumbnail is right here. I'm going to put the link below for you to watch. If this is a decision you are currently going through, go watch this video. It's for you. Okay, so the second decision you'll have to make is startup capital. Do you use your own money or do you go raise it? Look, for me, I decided to go make my own money, have my own money, build the business, validate who I am in the marketplace, then go raise money and not give a lot of equity. Instead, give the equity to the people that are internal within the company. That's the route I took. But that's one of many. There's a lot of people that go raise the money and build an incredible business. There's a lot of people that don't go raise money and they do their own money and they do very well. The biggest thing I'll tell you, every time you hear these stories of, but what did Mark Zuckerberg do? He started a business and his friend Edward, $18,000, and that's how they build it. And what if we build it that way? But on the other side, these guys raise it in Silicon Valley, they raise $6 million. And what if I go that route? There isn't a one story that fits for everybody here. But if you are in a position right now where you're looking to raise money, I have a video titled How to Raise Money as an Entrepreneur. This is the thumbnail. Again, the link will be below for you to go watch. Number 3, customer. This is important because you have to get very clear on who your customer is. If you watch Valuetainment, you know I've done videos so many times and I talk about this. But as a founder, every time I hear somebody says, I want everybody to be my customer, that's fine. The more niche and specific you are at the beginning, the better you're going to do. Jeff Bezos and Amazon, people say, well, Pat, look what Amazon does. They sell everything to everybody, but he started off niche with books, then it spread. Well, what about Walmart? Walmart sells so many different products, yes, but the product is built for middle America. Walmart is for middle America. They got very crystal clear on who their product is. McDonald's, before they messed up and they changed their identity, they understood their product was for kids. Happy Meal, Ronald McDonald. In 2008 or so, McDonald's decided to start selling salads because they were not getting enough single women going there. It was the first year where their stock didn't do that well. And their profit margin wasn't the same. Why? Because they forgot who their customer was, right? As the founder, you need to figure out exactly who your customer is. I have a video on that called What's More Important, Size or Position? This is the thumbnail. Link will be below. If this is a topic you're thinking about, go watch that video. Number 4, technology. I have 3 here, but it's really 2 choices you got. One is cheap, and you either go do somebody that doesn't really know what they're doing, you build it cheap, or you white label it, you go somebody that already has a platform, you go borrow their technology. Or number 2 is you go spend some money and build a real technology, and you keep it. Now, many will watch this and they'll say, well, Pat, what if I start cheap and what if I white label and then I go use something? That's totally fine. A lot of people do that. We did that at the beginning. But I will tell you a couple challenges you will face with that. If you all of a sudden start growing very fast and that technology company is not ready for you, you have a very big problem. Let me explain to you what's going on right now at the home office while I'm shooting this video with you. We have people here from all across the country that we flew in. We have people here that are engineers, probably 20, 30 engineers in our conference room right now, with stuff written all over the board. Maybe we'll give you a little sneak peek of what that room looks like right now. And you know what we're doing? We invested into a multi seven-figure budget technology of what we're building internally, because we're bringing 4 different platforms together under one. And we're going to own that technology. And it's an insane technology that we're owning. Why? Because we're at a crossroad. We either have to make a decision that if we're going to go out there and have 500,000 licensed agents, we need to have our own technology internal to be able to scale it. Or if we're just going to say, well, this is just a build to sell, let's just go out there and sell it, and who cares about this? This has never been the vision. Of course, one day this is going to become a reality. But the vision is to build the largest financial marketing organization. We have to figure out technology has to be internal with everything that we want, because everybody else that used to be able to handle us at 100 policies a month, they can't handle us at 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 policies a month. We need our own. So you got to make that decision at what phase you want to adjust. And it's all about timing, because if you're too late, you're going to take a big hit. Number 5, location. I've never done a video on this. I'm tempted to do a video on it. It's not a very exciting video that people are going to say, oh my gosh, this is so great. But for the startup founder that is thinking about location, it's very important for you to know the location of where you build your headquarters. I was originally in LA County. And one day while I had my headquarters in LA County, it was in Woodland Hills. One day somebody came and knocked on the door. And they said, hey, we heard you're growing. How did you hear we're growing? Well, you're all over social media. People are saying you're growing. I said, so what's your point? Here's the bill. What's the bill? LA County requires you to pay taxes to the county. So I said, is this a real bill? Yes, it is. So I called my CPA. I said, CPA, do we have to pay for this? He says, here's how this works. If they found that you're growing and they come to you and they give it to you, you have to pay for it. If they don't come to you, you don't have to pay. I said, you mean to tell me after? Yes. There's 11 counties apparently in California, you don't have to pay that additional county tax. So the tax we had to pay was like $80,000, $100,000. I said, what do you mean I have to pay $80,000, $100,000? He said, you have to pay for it. I said, give me the counties. They give me the counties. And then I found out because of Hollywood, Burbank Studios in Glendale wrote a law many, many years ago that they don't have the county tax to pay. And then it was Santa Monica, Victorville, and a couple other pockets that it was 11 of them that we had. So we moved from Woodland Hills to Glendale for that area. And then from Glendale, we moved away to Texas for many different reasons. You have to think about locations. You have to think about if you're a small business, you know, and it's just a shop, traffic, right? You know, Sam Walton picked his first stores that he built not in top metropolitan cities, always 20, 30, 40 miles out of metropolitan cities in smaller cities. Not LA, more Fresno. Not, you know, it was always that because that was his decision of location. McDonald's always chose location based on freeways. Where's freeways at? Where's traffic? If you look at Starbucks, likes to have their location in places where other traffic comes to them. So they're not the sole reason. They'll be around other people and people come to them. It's location, right? A lot of different things you have to be thinking about, but this is a multi-dimensional type of a decision. I may get into another video, but that's location you'll have to think about. Number 6, competitors. How are you going to differentiate yourself? Who are you going to be in the marketplace? Who's going to be direct competitors of yours? And who thinks that you're their competitor, but you're going after a complete different market? How is it going to be different for you? You have to think about that. Like right now, if you're a founder, you're a CEO, you have to sit there and say, who are my direct competitors? And I know sometimes CEOs and founders don't like to say somebody's their competitor because they can't stand that competitor. You have to be very clear on who your competitors are and what they have an edge over you and what they don't. You need to know that. This isn't something you can just look away and say positive thinking, I don't want to be thinking about that. That's not how capitalism works. In a marketplace, if you don't think about your competitors and what areas they have an edge over you, all of a sudden they're going to take that market share away from you. Or if you're a threat and you don't look at them, they may put you out of business. So you have to know exactly how you're going to differentiate yourself. Number 7, culture. What kind of a culture are you going to build? Look, our culture in our sales offices is it's very competitive. You know, it's like a ESPN Sports Center. You know, everybody's trying to break records. It's a very, very competitive type of an environment, right? Home office is very collaborative. It may be very different. Now, at higher levels, the senior vice presidents or chairman's councils, they may collaborate more. But it's different with sales versus support versus home office versus different departments. And that culture comes from you, right? What kind of an environment is it? Is it a fun environment? Is it a serious environment? And some of you may say, well, what do you mean fun or serious? A law firm is going to be more serious, right, than a marketing agency. So How is that? It's going to be a part of your culture, by the way, part of your personality that will bleed into the culture. But you have to ask yourself, I would like us to be kind of like XYZ minus this plus this element that I want to add myself. I'm not going to get too detailed into it. I did do a video on it called 24 Ways to Build Great Company Culture. Here's a thumbnail. If you want to find out about company culture, go watch the video below. Number 8, compensation plan. People call me, they'll pay me $50,000, $100,000, and they'll say, Pat, can you help us clear up our compensation plan? No problem. I'll spend a few hours with them and we'll do that. I'm not getting into comp plan a lot, but I'll give you a couple things for you to be thinking about. Minimum wage. What are you going to pay for your minimum wage people that come to you? Whatever part of the world you're in. Your staff, what are you going to pay them? Your execs, how are you going to pay them? How are you going to keep them? Is it going to be profit sharing, bonus, equity? What are you going to be doing? Number 4, sales. How's your comp plan going to be with sales? I was in UK. A guy told me I run I sell glasses to women and all this other real nice guy. In 2.5 years, they took their business from $0 to $3 million a year. And I said, but my sales guys are so lazy. And my sales guys are not doing anything. I said, tell me about your comp plan. He said, I pay my sales guys $30,000 a year. I said, what do you pay them in commissions every month? I pay them commission bonus once a year. I said, let me get this straight. You pay them commission once a year? Yes. What do you mean once a year? Yeah, that's how I pay them. How do you want me to be motivated working for you? If I'm working for you as an employee, I don't even know if I'm going to be around with you for a year. What do you mean you're going to pay me the bonus by the end of the year? And it's like, yeah, but that's how I do it. That's how it is in London. I said, that's not how it is with anything. Everybody is motivated to get what they want now. The sooner you bonus me. And so I went through a structure on this. It was raining, it was pouring, and we were able to talk a little bit. But your comp plan will dictate the level of urgency and the kind of salespeople you attract. It'll also dictate the kind of executives you attract that want to stay with you long term. That's your comp plan. Number 9, method of marketing. Word of mouth? Is it digital? Is it storefront? What is it going to be? What approach are you going to be taking? Are you going to be going after people just purely online and Facebook ads and YouTube ads? What are you going to be doing? While we're in UK, a couple of entrepreneurs reached out to us. They invited us to go to dinner. We went and had dinner with them. Russian couple, real nice couple. Mother was sitting right there. They took us and they treated us to this Indian curry place. And I said, tell me about your business model. We do $10 million a year just off YouTube. What do you mean? We never did ads. I just made YouTube videos, and next thing you know, that YouTube video drove to my business, and we did $10 million last year. We're about to sell it. What's your EBITDA? They gave me their EBITDA. It was pretty impressive EBITDA. And obviously, the wife is drop-dead gorgeous, very attractive, very pleasant, and he had a massive personality and extremely attractive himself. They look Ken and Barbie type of style couple, right? What's the point here? Their method of marketing was purely YouTube. That's what they use. What are you going to be using when you're driving your product out to people? There are so many ways today, but you got to get clear on it. By the way, the recommendations on this is I made a video called 10 Books to Read About Marketing. I highly recommend you actually study marketing before you put yourself in a box too early. This is the thumbnail. Link will be below. Go watch that video if that's what you're looking for right now. And last but not least, point number 10 is your identity, your story. Meaning, like, what is your story on how you came up with this idea? Was it you? Was it a group of you? Was it some of you and your sales guys, your peers? This is what we came up with. Why did you come up with this idea? People want to know, what is your mission statement? What is your vision? What do you plan on doing? What are you going to be solving? What problem are you going to be solving? Who are you going to be in a marketplace? That itself is your story and your identity, because I can tell you myself, listen, from the moment we started our insurance agency, do you know how many times I've told the story? I mean, if I tell you 10,000 times, that's lowballing it. I've told the story tens of thousands of times to carriers, to people I want to recruit, to salespeople, to staff, to clients, to potential clients, to investors, to vendors, to so many people, to media, to the market, to everybody. You keep telling that story. Your story, your identity is what you're going to be saying for a long time. And people are going to say, wow, that makes sense. It's interesting how you connect the dots and they came up with this and That is your story. I have a video I want you to watch. If this is something you're trying to figure out, it's called Biggest Mistake Marketers Make. That has to do with you coming up with your identity and your story. It goes very, very specific into that. Anyways, if any of this stuff I covered today, if you want me to go a little bit deeper, send me a tweet at Patrick Bet-David and let me know, Pat, do you mind going a little bit deeper on location? Do you mind going a little bit deeper on such and such? No problem. Send it to me. We're listening to you all the time. We want to hear what kind of content you want to see come on Valuetainment next. Send me a message on Twitter at Patrick Bet-David. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. And if you didn't watch any of these videos next, Go click on the link below in the description to watch the next videos. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.